about Jussie Smollett. Is it Jussie Smollett? Jussie Smollett. You know, Jussie sounds like, you know, somebody that everybody likes. And he's not everybody's favorite right now. So we just gonna call him Justin. You know, just like whenever you do wrong, your mama call you by your government name, Justin. So Justin Smollett, as you guys remember, he got attacked in Chicago at 2 a.m. on the way to get a footlong. And now we say, well, what footlong was he going for? Now, he said Subway, but it came out. These were the footlongs that he was looking for, all right? These was it right here. He said he was going out at 2 a.m. and he was going out to get full. Now, apparently, these same footlongs here, all right, said it's MAGA country, N-word, F-word, pour bleach on them, beat them up, etc. We all know the story by now. These brothers, I forgot what their names are. Asandario is their last name, I think. They came out and said that, look, we were his trainers, and he allegedly paid us a certain amount of money to beat him up so he could do this hoax and basically get more attention and bring more attention to himself. We remember the story. Now, this is what you guys should know. Jussie, as well as his close friends and his close team around him, are still actually being investigated by the FBI for that hoax that he pulled about a year or two, well, a couple years ago at this point, because it happened in 2019. And one of the main points of the FBI's investigation is that damn letter. Y'all remember that letter, don't you? All right? It said, die, you will die, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now, the FBI is really concerned about this letter because this letter originally was sent to Fox. I'm sorry, was received by Fox Studios on January 22nd, 2019. Now, when that letter went to Fox, okay, it went to Fox. It had like some white powder in the envelope. They shut production down at Fox Studios briefly, but the public didn't actually find out about it right away. But then 7 days later, there was this small blog called That Grape Juice, and That Grape Juice ended up breaking the internet by posting this letter. Let's go to it. They ended up posting this letter, all right? And now, the world was kind of shocked at the time because they were like, well, damn, how did this small blog actually get the letter? Because the world didn't know yet. They broke it. All right, another person on Twitter. Now I want to know, who told y'all that Jussie was attacked? Like, who told y'all? This small blog knew about it before everybody else, before TMZ, before CNN, before anybody. All right, nobody had known outside of Fox. This is something that they kept within Fox. Well, allegedly, Jussie and his team actually took the story of this fake letter and gave it to the owner of That Grape Juice, this blog, all right? And the owner of the blog, his name is Sam Alajore. I think he's actually Nigerian. And when you actually look this man up, he's actually cool, or has some really cool pictures with celebs, all right? So you see him here with Kelly Rowland. You see him again with Toni Braxton. And you see him again with John Legend. Now, John Legend right there, he's never gonna not be Arthur to me whenever I see him, okay? Now, what you guys don't know is that Jussie Smollett and Sam are actually really, really good friends, which is why Jussie and his team decided to give this story to Sam so Sam could break it on the internet with his little blog. But you like, Storm, why? Like, why would they give him this story? Why would they send him a picture of the letter, let him know everything that happened? Why would they do that before they go to a CNN, to a TMZ, or anything like that? Well, here's why. Let's play this. Let's hear it straight from Don Lemon's mouth. Hold on.
To people who are involved in the news. Oftentimes when people they go into crisis PR management. They call a crisis PR person. That crisis PR person will tell them, do a morning show. They've got a lot of viewers. Never throw yourself on the mercy of the court. This is not 1997. It's not even 2006. It's not even 20. That no longer works. This is, and in this particular case, this is not an entertainment story. This has become a political story because of the whole MAGA part. And you know where that is played out and lived daily? In cable news and on social media. So if you're going to take your fight, you need to take it to the pit, to where it's happening. It's not happening on morning shows.
That's right.
They talk about the news for a few minutes. Nothing against morning shows. I love all my colleagues there. I think they do a great job. But that's not where it is now, especially when it comes to this. But what I'm saying is that doesn't work. Come on a show like this, or any of my other colleagues, and sit down with us live for an hour or however long it takes, answer the questions that need to be answered from real journalists. I shouldn't say that. From journalists who don't have to worry about the entertainment arm of their particular company.
All right. Jussie didn't want to give this story to teams. Put them out over there, not real journalists. To a CNN, to an ABC News, because he knew that CNN and ABC would ask a lot of questions. They would dig deep, and they would dig deep in a way that would expose him for putting on a hoax. Sam was not going to ask them kind of questions. These kind of entertainment blogs, even people like me, a lot of times people like me don't go as deep. I'm getting better, but I'm learning. But a lot of us don't go as deep because we're so concerned with entertaining, you not being bored, having to keep up the energy versus a CNN or ABC, which is not here to keep you entertained. It's here to keep you just simply informed. These are the facts. This is what it is. But they're going to go deep. And so he didn't want this. So he said, you know what? I sent the letter to Fox. Didn't nothing really happen. All right. I didn't get an increase in my salary. All right. Nothing that's really changed. You know what? I'm going to have him break that story. And that is exactly what he did. He has pretty much implicated Sam in this crime now, this federal crime now, without even Sam realizing it. So you guys should know that Sam here, he's innocent. He didn't know that it was fake, but indeed it was. Okay. Now, I do want to also let you guys know this. I want to show you guys this screenshot here from 2019 from a Rob Smith. Now, when this story came out, as you see, January 29th, Rob said, if this is true, this is awful. Jussie Smollett is a pioneer for gay visibility, right? Then you look later, Rob Smith said, I just found out that a music blog that I followed for years broke this story. Okay, the police reporting his hospitalization is real. Tread carefully with this one, especially the MAGA hat and new stuff. Jussie added the part about MAGA country because he knew that the country hated Donald Trump and that would make the story blow up more. Okay, let's keep going. So then Rob also says, you know what, update, that Grape Juice who broke this story has suspiciously updated their site to remove all mentions of the MAGA hat, and this is MAGA country, quote, if anyone has screenshotted the original story, please share. This is getting stunty. It was a stunt. See, Jussie was upset that Grape Juice in their original article about this letter and this attack mentioned MAGA country so many times in the article. He said, you're doing too much with it. Redact that, take that out, update it. So they ended up updating. But the problem is Jussie has all of these records of him faking this story in his phone. All right. Which is why when he finally handed over his phone, the FBI is like, this stuff is heavily redacted. We can't even really see who you was talking to, what you was sending, and when and where and how. But you know the FBI is going to dig deep. But Jussie is guilty. His team is guilty. Sam is kind of guilty by association. And Jussie is worried because Sam is going to have to explain, how did you get this story before everybody else? And he got it from Jussie because allegedly they are really good friends. Now at this point, Jussie has unfollowed that Grape Juice on Instagram. He's kind of separated himself from him, but at the time they were really cool. Or as I like to say, a lot of these celebrities use these blogs and these media outlets to be their friend so they can push the narratives that they want. Because at the end of the day, celebs have like a love-hate relationship with us. We help to keep them relevant. All right. Without us, y'all forget about them. Unless they have real talent to like if you have real talent, you typically can keep yourself relevant on your own. But if you don't, and you just one of these girls that's kind of famous to be famous because you came up off a reality show, whatever, it's people like me that keep you going. And so they'll befriend people like us so we can put out the narratives that they want out there, but they're not like our actual friends most of the time. Jussie was never Sam's actual friend. He was just using him to perpetuate a narrative that he needed out there. And he knew it was going to be easy because Sam was not going to question his friend the way that he really needed to be questioned. And so now let's recap. All right. Jussie made the whole thing up, the attack up, paid the trainers to attack him. We know all that. He sent this letter to Fox Studios himself. The story didn't get as big as he wanted. He thought Fox was going to leak it. They did. Then this man right here breaks the story on the 29th after being given a story by Jussie. Jussie then contacts Sam again and says, take all mentions of MAGA out of it and just leave the attack in there. He updates it again. People on Twitter are kind of suspicious, and nobody's been able to figure out how this man got it. This man got it. He got the story because he got it from Jussie. Jussie has now involved him in this plot and has put Sam in a certain position where when the FBI approaches him, he will have to explain how you got the story. When you take stories, when you take tea, when you take whatever, and then the FBI gets involved, they can come to you and say, I need to know who your source is. I need to see all emails and all text messages. And you can't really tell the feds, no, you're going to comply. So when it comes to sources and stuff, yes, people are anonymous, but they're anonymous until they're not. And that's anybody. Don't let nobody tell you anybody ever has 100% anonymity, because they don't. Even if something comes from a random email that you don't know who it is, it just comes to your email, like somebody was trying to send me an email, then you would give that to the feds and say, okay, this is where it came from. This is the email address. You do your work from there. That's all I know. So at the end of the day, Jussie's worried. His team is worried that they really going to fully be exposed, and that, you know, he's going to get other people in trouble because of this. Now, you got to understand, when the FBI really builds a case on somebody, they take years. Just like we saw with Tim Norman. They followed and gathered all the information. So when they strike hard, which is why the feds usually have a 95% success rate. Other than that, Jussie's Jussie. Jussie's talented, but Jussie messed up when he did this. And I feel like if he just would have just right when it happened, if he just would have came back out and be like, look, I made it up. I was just trying to get some attention to myself. I was just trying to raise my name. It's fake. I'm sorry. I feel like he probably could have been forgiven, but now he's so far deep in the lie, he just got to keep at it. Like, you ever tell so many lies, and there's so many lies on top of lies that you like, I'm just kind of, I'm committed to this now. Like, I know it ain't true, but it's just what it is because you so far deep in it. So that's pretty much where we are with that. I did want to play you guys this before I start taking your questions.
Right now, and we're being told by...
And by the way, this is an interview between TMZ and Fox News, February 20th, 2019.
Law enforcement, the second he refuses to go, it goes immediately to the grand jury.
A couple questions here, Harvey. Did he bring his story to you first? Is that how that began?
No. As a matter of fact, there was a website, an obscure website, that broke this thing vaguely, that there was an attack, and we saw that, and then we started calling various people from his camp, and it took a couple of hours until we finally, you know, got at least his side of this story. But it was a web, and I forgot the name of it now, but it was a website that posted this several hours after the alleged incident happened.
You know, your business.
All right. So with that being said, let me go over to y'all. Yamaya's Gift is a brand that specializes in medicinal herbs and all natural supplements to help alleviate a lot of conditions that Americans suffer from, okay? Now, Yamaya's Gift got products to help you with that hypertension, to help speed up that weight loss, get rid of them fibroids, as well as help alleviate the symptoms of that diabetes. Oh yeah, that sugar is real bad. So now with Yamaya's Gift, you get a lot of gifts, but the best gift that anyone could ever give you is the ability to heal thyself from the inside out with products like elderberry syrup to help keep that immunity in check, because we all fighting Miss Rona. We all trying to windmill her ass up out of our lives. But one of my personal favorites, as a matter of fact, two of my personal favorite products with Yamaya's Gift is the all natural honey and the tea that's for men. And the reason why I like those products is because if you are somebody with a low sex drive, if you need a boost in the bedroom, and if you are ready to get Brian Pumpered, Lexington Steeled all night long, then just put some of that in your man's cup and you will be on your way to a happier, healthy marriage, all right? Now, place your orders today, whether you need your immunity taken care of, you're trying to lose some weight, you're trying to get rid of that sugar, the diabetes, or you're just trying to bust a nut, okay? Order her shit at www.yamayasgift.com.